You ever stop and wonder what's actually going on inside your phone or your laptop? I mean, it really does feel like magic sometimes, right? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain. We are going to break down the just eight, fundamental building blocks that make all of our modern electronics tick.
Seriously, think about it. From your smartphone to, I don't know, your smart fridge, there's this incredible invisible symphony of tiny parts all working together. But what are they, and how in the world do they work?
You know, it seems impossibly complex, but here's the crazy part. It all boils down to just a handful of tiny, powerful components, and we're going to get into every single one of them right now. All right, let's start at the very beginning. We're talking about the absolute basics, the components that are basically the traffic cops for electricity. They tell it where to go, and just as importantly, how fast.
Okay, first up, we've got the resistor. The easiest way to think about this, imagine electricity is just water flowing through a pipe. The resistor, well, it's the faucet. It's that simple. It lets you control exactly how much water, or in this case, current, is allowed to get through.
So its whole job is just to limit that flow. And why does that even matter? Well, it's all about protecting the more delicate parts of a circuit from getting totally zapped by too much power. Oh, and it's also the secret sauce behind the dimmer switch on your lights.
And that protective role is absolutely critical. Take a tiny little LED light. It can't handle much power at all. Without a resistor in front of it to choke back that current, poof, it would burn out instantly. So yeah, you can really think of a resistor as a tiny bodyguard for the more sensitive components.
All right, next on our list is the diode. Now, if the resistor is our faucet, the diode is more like a one-way door. Electricity can go in, but it absolutely positively cannot come back out the way it came.
And this one-way street thing is super important stuff you use every single day. Your phone charger, for example, is full of diodes to make sure power only flows into your phone. If that current ever flowed backwards, it could completely fry the guts of the charger.
So, let's do a quick recap here. The resistor, that's our faucet, it controls how much current flows. The diode, our one-way door, controls which way that current is allowed to go. See? Two super simple but totally different jobs.
Okay, so we've got a handle on controlling the flow of electricity. Now let's get into the components that can actually store and shape that energy for all sorts of different uses. So meet the capacitor. The best way to picture this guy is as a tiny, really fast battery. It can soak up electricity almost instantly and then bam, release it all in one quick burst whenever it's needed. It's kind of like a small water tank that can fill up and then dump all its water in a split second.
But it's not just about those quick bursts of energy. Capacitors have another really important job, smoothing things out. You see, electrical currents aren't always perfect. They can be kind of noisy or unstable with these tiny little ripples. The capacitor just soaks up those ripples, acting like a filter to give you a nice, clean, stable current.
And I bet you've actually heard this in action. You know that annoying pop or static you sometimes get from speakers? A lot of the time, that's just a noisy electrical signal. Good quality audio gear uses capacitors to filter all that junk out, which is what gives you that crystal clear sound.
Okay, next up is the inductor. And honestly, it's usually just a simple coil of wire. Now, it also stores energy, but it does it in a completely different way from a capacitor. Instead of holding an electric charge, it stores energy in a magnetic field that builds up around the coil.
And if you're wondering where you've seen this is literally how wireless charging works. It is pure inductor magic. The charging pad has a coil that creates a magnetic field. Then there's another coil inside your phone that picks up on that field and turns it right back into electricity to charge your battery. Pretty cool, right? No wires needed.
All right, time to move on to the real heavy hitters. These next components are the ones that completely transform power, and frankly, they're the reason our entire modern electrical world even exists. First up, the transformer. I mean, its name pretty much says it all, right? It transforms voltage. It can either step it up to a much higher level or step it down to a lower, safer one. This is exactly how we can take the immense power from the electrical grid and still use it to safely charge something as small as your phone. So let's trace the journey of electricity to your house. It starts at the power plant, where giant transformers step up the voltage so it can travel super efficiently over long distances. Then, when it gets to your neighborhood, other transformers on the power poles step down that voltage to a much safer level that you can actually use in your outlets. And now, we've arrived at the transistor.
Look, if there is one component on this entire list that deserves to be called magic, this is it. The transistor has two jobs that literally change the world. First, it can act as an amplifier, taking a tiny signal and making it huge. And second, it can act as a tiny, unbelievably fast electronic switch. And that is the foundation of all modern computing, period.
Let's just talk about that amplification power for a second. When you speak into a microphone, the electrical signal you create is incredibly weak. A transistor grabs that tiny little signal and boosts it, amplifies it, until it's powerful enough to drive massive speakers at a concert. That's amplification in a nutshell.
Okay, so we've got control, we've got storage, and we've got amplification. So what happens when you combine these things? Not just a few of them, but millions, or even billions? Well, that's when you get intelligence. Let's talk about the brains of the machine.
Remember how we said a transistor can be a switch? Now, what if you had not one, not 1,000, but billions of them? And what if they were all packed into a space smaller than your fingernail? That mind-boggling density is exactly what allows for all the complex calculations that power our modern world.
And that, my friends, is an integrated circuit, or an IC for short. It's this absolutely ingenious invention where we take billions of those transistors, plus other components, shrink them all down, and basically print them onto a single, tiny slice of silicon. And that one little chip can perform incredibly complex tasks.
Now, the most famous kind of integrated circuit is the processor, which you've probably heard of as the CPU. This is the true brain of any smart device. It's a super specialized IC that's designed to do one thing: execute commands, run calculations, and make logical decisions billions and billions of times every single second.
Basically, every single thing you do on your smartphone is being handled by its processor. Tapping on an app? That's the processor. Snapping a photo? Processor. Sending a text? You guessed it. The processor is the command center that's executing all of it. Without that chip, a smartphone is just a really expensive piece of glass.
So there you have it, the whole shebang. We started with the traffic cops, the resistor, and the diode. Then we moved on to the energy stores, the capacitor and the inductor. We met the heavy hitters that transform power, the transformer, and the absolute game changer, the transistor. And finally, we saw how it all comes together to create the brains of the operation, the integrated circuit, and the processor. Just 8 core ideas that run everything.
These 8 simple blocks literally built the digital world we live in today. Which really makes you stop and think, right? What are the building blocks of the next world going to be? Thanks for tuning in.